Haggerty will now join us on stage for her talk. Nicole is a junior here at Grosse Pointe North.
I was 6 years old when I learned to ride my bike. One day I woke up and I realized that I was big enough and I was strong enough to ride my own two-wheeler, with my dad's help. I straddled my seat and I was wobbling from side to side, partly because I was anxious, partly because I was so excited, and partly because I couldn't reach the ground. And my dad held the back of my seat very firmly, making sure I wouldn't fall. And I started to pedal and he started to push me. And I looked back every 10 seconds to make sure he was still there, holding my seat, making sure I wouldn't fall. But one time when I looked back, he was in the distance, and I realized I was riding my bike on my own, by myself. Now after that experience, I never went back to my dad and said, "Hey, can you hold my seat for me?" I never asked him to follow me around the block. I was on my own. That was in the past. But people tend to not think the same about inspiration. People tend to be inspired by one person, and then wanting inspiration from them over and over again. Well, I say differently. I say that we are capable of inspiring ourselves, and perfectly capable of inspiring others. We can be the people that holds the seat of a nervous 6-year-old and pushes them off for them to cycle through their life. But what qualities of a person makes you want to be inspired by them? When I personally think of inspiration, I think of my 7th and 8th grade Spanish teacher, Mr. Rolfe. The first thing I think of is, what a great man. He was inspirational by both words and actions, and song choices. I still sing "Don't Stop Believing" when I think of him. He would ask me every day how I was. But he didn't expect the answer, "Oh, I'm good." He expected me to tell the truth. And he wouldn't let me leave that classroom until I told him. And he'd also ask the hockey player, "How many hours of sleep did you get last night?" Because he cared. He cared how much sleep you got, so you could learn as much as you could the day after. He was the strongest man I'd ever met. And I used to watch him on the first day of school help 6th graders with their locker combinations. And then I would watch them slam it in their face and tell them to do it themselves now. His fortitude was tested when his 2.5-year-old son was diagnosed with cancer. As a class, we expected him to come to school without a smile on his face. We didn't expect him to ask us how we were every day. We didn't think he'd ask us how many hours of sleep we got the night before, but we were proven wrong. We were still asked individually how we were each day, how many hours of sleep we got the night before, and he would still rock out with us to any Spanish song he put on. He still had his big smile on his face. And that strength is truly admirable. He was the strongest man I had ever met. And his experience inspired me to follow my true dream of being a pediatric oncologist. He told me I was not only capable of doing this, but absolutely perfect for the job. Earlier this year, Mr. Rolfe had heart surgery. And for the first time, worry never crossed my mind. He was the strongest person I'd ever met, and nothing could bring him down. Until I got a call on February 19th that complications after his surgery proved to be fatal. It was the strongest pain I'd ever felt. Sorry. It was as if I had lost a father. But it hasn't stopped me. It hasn't stopped me from asking other people in the hallway how they are, if I think they're not okay. It hasn't stopped me from asking people how many hours of sleep they got the night before. hasn't stopped me from listening to his favorite songs and taking the same messages that I took in 7th and 8th grade. And I think that all of us need to do the same. We need to take someone else's inspiration and realize that it's our turn. That it's our turn to inspire others. And once again, hold the back of someone else's bicycle seat. He was my best friend in the whole entire world. He was truly an inspiration to me. And I think that when we inspire others, we can make great things happen. We can be the person that inspires the person that cures cancer, or the next NFL quarterback, or the next famous writer, and we can inspire them to follow their practical dream of being a writer. And take the time to inspire others, because the product of that inspiration can live forever. Thank you.